Hey guys, some quick thoughts on what to do in Huangshan. I'm just waking up here. Sorry, I haven't had my coffee yet. Yeah, the wiki travel looks like it's been updated, but to be honest, the only thing you really need to know about this is trail closures, which was a real pain in the butt. It would be good if you could get somebody from school to maybe call the main office and ask, obviously, have a Chinese person call and ask if there are any because you want to ask if parts of the Grand Canyon are closed because you could be like an hour or two into a hike and then all of a sudden get closed off from another part. It might just happen that that's how it's going to be. I've been 4 times and the last time I went was everything open. So you might get lucky because I think they're finally done with all of the work. Um, Here's the best map. I've kind of scoured around there, and it'll make sense. It'll make a little more sense once you're on the mountain, but it's on Wiki Travel. Most people will go up this east side. Let me make sure that's the right way. Yeah, Yungu. Yeah. So you'll take the bus in, and this hot spring here is actually a decent place to stay. It used to be a Best Western, but I'll show you where to find it on C Trip. It's actually really pretty right here. Don't go left. Don't start on this side. It's not as pretty. Go this way over this bridge. And as far as whether or not to take the cable up, if it's your first time, you might want to walk up. It is very pretty, but all of the breathtaking panos and just incredible things are on the top. So yeah, I mean, up to you. It doesn't take too long to get up there, and especially if you don't have a lot of gear. But if you're bringing like a heavy camera or any kind of heavy gear, definitely take the cable car. It's like 200 RMB, maybe 300. I'm having trouble remembering. You don't need to book the cable car in advance unless you're going during a holiday. But I don't even know if you can book it in advance. And then um, there's going to be a little line as you wait for the cable car. You might get lucky if you get there super early. That's, as you know, in China, just get there before those tour buses, right? So the earlier the better. If that means on the Friday night when you get there, stay at this hot spring. That's what I always do. That way you can beat all the crowds. Unless you have lots and lots of time, just, whatever, just stay anywhere around here. This is the only hotel you can stay at before you get to the cable cars. It's right here. And then once you get up, you'll stay at any one of these guest houses, and I'll show you that part next. Um, on C Trip, make sure you just have this clicked on the mountain, because if not, you're going to get all these other bogus hotels. There's 4 or 5 on the mountain that are really good. Um, this is probably the best one I've ever stayed in. It's a little pricey, but it's worth every penny if you really want to do some hiking and you don't want to waste 2 hours every day on boring parts of the mountain and tons and tons and tons of Chinese tourists. I would stay here. This is like right in the middle of all of the hikes, so it's called Shihai. And if you go back to here, it's right here, Shihai. And you can see that it's on all the awesome loops that you can take. Honestly, that's the biggest tip. Make sure you've got that clicked, and then it'll bring up like 4 or 5 or 6. So let's see. Shihai's awesome. Um, this is it. This is the Best Western that's at the foot of the mountain. They changed it now to Huangshan Resort and Spa. It's not like amazing or by any stretch, but it's an okay night stay before you start your trip. This one is on the mountain, and this one is also very good. Never stayed there. This one's good too, and this one's okay, but it's overflowing with Chinese tourists. This one, but all of these, the White Goose, Paiyun, Baiyun, and Shihai and Beihai, they're all actually Shihai only. they're actually all right where you want to be, where all the hiking is. This isn't me, by the way, China Mike, but I found this guy's blog to be pretty helpful, so check that out. Other big tips. Going around to those villages, it looks like they actually have a wiki travel, which this is new, so I don't know how much you should trust this, to be honest. But I found getting around to those 5 villages kind of to be a real pain in the ass. And, you know, they are pretty, but again, you're stuck in a cab and a taxi, and they never, it seems like they never listen to you when you tell them, no, I don't want to go to that village. Just, you know, even if you have a little Chinese, it seems like sometimes they won't even take you down some kind of really cool little road. They'll just say, no, no, no. So it's kind of sucks because you're limited in your freedom when you're not in your own car when you're trying to get to those villages. I found it to be really frustrating. But Hongtun is the one that you were asking about. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like half under construction. I mean, I guess it's photo worthy, and there's one, probably more now, but there was one high-end resort when we were there. Very, very, very well done. Beautiful view. They served wine. It was kind of like a winery. Um, I don't have the name, but we were the only ones staying there, so you know how it is. Um, I'll see if I can somewhere in my notes try to find the name of the place, and if I do, I'll pass it on. The Bamboo Village, I think it's Shidi, but I can't remember the name of it. Was pretty cool, but again, they're all those villages are kind of overhyped in my opinion, unless you can somehow rent a private driver and just have those clear expectations. Like, look, I don't want to go to a million freaking jade shops and pottery shops. And, you know, just be very explicit with them, because I found a lot of those drivers were complete scam artists. So you got to feel really good about your driver. I guess the only other tip is just stay on the mountain. Just make sure you're in here. This is where all the goodness is, and there's lots of wonderful, wonderful hikes. Ferry Walking Bridge is somewhere up here. Ferry Walking Bridge. Anyway, the names are pretty funny, but make your way to Ferry Walking Bridge. You'll see all of these things on your hike. They're very, very cool. And I'll check the names of my photos too to see like what's what. But I mean, it's impossible really to miss anything if you stay there for if you stay like 2 or 3 nights. You can do all the major hikes that are up here. So, trying to think of anything else. The food's not so good on the mountain. I mean, if you stay at the resort, it's one of like Shihai, stay at one of those, it's okay, but definitely stock up on apples and oranges and some instant noodles, because it's ridiculously expensive on top of the mountain for all that kind of stuff. And then definitely take the cable car down unless you're feeling really good. Like if you got, I don't know, if you got a lot of good rest, or if you did stay at that resort, you could take the cable car down and go this way towards the nunnery. It's also very, very pretty. Oh, there's Ferry Walking Bridge. So you could go down, oh hell, I don't know, this way, the Western Steps. After you do the Ferry Walking Bridge on your last day, you could go out this way. And it is also very pretty. It's just not as pretty as this area over here. So if I think of anything else, I'll forward it on. You guys are going to love it. Can't say this enough. Get on the trails early, like before sunrise if you can. Because if you get stuck behind one of those groups, they got the megaphones out there, and it can really ruin your hike. So just get out there before they're there. And then, yeah. So have fun. You're going to love it, guys.